Welcome to the EarthWorks podcast, where our team will share the jargon of carbon with many of the turf friends we've met over the past 35 years.
Hi, everybody. This is Joel Simmons, and I have the great pleasure of having the Turf Talk guys on today. Another podcast in the many, many seas of podcasts that we have here in the turf industry. Robb Uzar and Ty Robb. Did I say your last name right, Robb? Uzar?
Uzar, close enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I should have asked
I've
you
heard
that.
worse.
Both superintendents down in the Florida area, and the podcast has been going on for a little over 2 years. Is that how long you guys been doing this?
Yeah, the podcast part's been 2 years. Turf Talk itself has been almost 3. So
What's the difference?
you want to tell the history?
Yeah, so it started out on X just as a space.
Oh, really? Okay.
The spaces
cool.
came out, so it was live. And my wife was pregnant at the time, and I had to be home more, and I couldn't go out as much. So I started doing that to get in and talk with some of the other superintendents and anyone in the industry to just kind of catch up.
So you were just doing it on X at first. It wasn't what you do.
Yeah, we
now.
didn't record it at all. Yeah. So
Oh, really? Oh, so it was just a live. It was just a live
you
chat.
had to join up live. Yeah. Yeah.
And it
So
started out crazy too, because when Ty was doing it, he'd invited me a couple of times. Kind of right as we became friends, he had invited me. He's like, "Oh, I'm doing Turf Talk. Come on." I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about."
What the hell's Turf Talk?
No. So when he started doing it, it was like, all right. So he's like, let's make this a regular thing. He's like, it's hard to do by myself because, like he was saying, when he first started, nobody really knew what they were. And it was like, him and like 3 people on there talking. And it was like, it came different. And then once we both started doing it and both like kind of hung out there, people realized it was like a real thing. And so they would show up and have conversations. And it used to get really, really long, like, because, it started at 7 Eastern. And we would go till like it wasn't unreasonable for us to go like 9 o'clock, so like 2 hours long.
Wow!
And because people come in and
Live.
go and this and that, but as 9 o'clock comes around, a lot of the East Coast guys are signing off, and the West Coast guys are coming
Picking up. Yeah.
So like we'd have all of a sudden we have guys from California coming on there, and it's like next thing we know it's 10:30, and we're like we've been on it for 3.5 hours. Like,
and I got kids at home. I gotta.
But again, if we had this recorded, it probably would have been some good stuff, but we didn't know about it at that point. But
so none of those Turf Talks were recorded.
No, not until
wow.
and not until like a year, like November, we realized that like we're trying to figure out how to actually record this thing. So we found out in November that Twitter actually keeps track of every space, like you can download in case there's legal issues or whatever, and they keep them for like a certain amount of days or whatever. So if we'd have known that, I could have downloaded those a long time ago, and we could have just thrown them in a podcast form then, and everybody could listen to
made it a proper
whatever
podcast.
we're rambling about for 3 hours at that point. So
how did you get the word out, Rob? Ty?
I just went on there and started. That was it. It was
so the first day you get on, you just start talking to yourself. Is that
sitting there?
Hey, this is Ty. I'm talking about turf, and
I was just waiting there. I see someone pop in. Hey, Mike. What are you seeing out there?
Oh, that's too funny. So you were talking. I mean, being superintendents, you're talking what was going on at the time.
Yeah,
to other superintendents.
Weather's shit, Okay,
right. Right. That's first conversation.
Like, where you cold today? Yeah, grass is laid down. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So when did it become a podcast?
we're in 25 now, 24,
23.
It was in 23, I think. Has it been that long now?
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know. It's been a while. Like it definitely. Actually, I can pull it up right here because I have it pulled up on here. But I mean, it really. That's when it really started going. I was like, I told Ty, I'm like, if we're gonna do this, let's go after it. Let's go hard on this and make it into a podcast and do it. And he's like, all right, let's go for it then. And that's really where we got really hot and heavy with it and really got into it because like. If we would have known about the recording part of it, we had a couple really good ones towards the end of our first time, and then we realized we're like, crap, like this recorded the whole time. Wow. So it was the beginning of 24. Our first one was published January 25th of 24.
So how many are you doing it weekly? You guys are every week?
We try to. That's the goal. Sometimes family gets in the way. Or baseball, Rob's getting into baseball.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, we have lots of baseball things going on and stuff. So we try to do it every week. If not, we try not to go 2 weeks with missing it.
And you've
Sometimes we have a topic that we do. Sometimes it's just we go on there and see where it goes, or sometimes we have a guest. And that's really when we started getting more guests, when we started actually turning it to the podcast part.
So at beginning, you were just talking among yourselves a lot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what most of it was like. And then, like, if we did invite somebody we didn't know about, recording it, like we just bring somebody on that. So we had a different perspective on something or wanted to talk about something. I remember we had one of the ones we realized it, when we realized in January we recorded, we had Darren Davis on with us and like November.
Great.
And it was awesome. Like we've had him on since then, but it was so good. It was like, I was like, man, I'm like, we should have recorded this, and not knowing it was, I could have downloaded it, but we didn't know about it. So
posterity, right.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And you guys don't record on video. You just record audio?
Yeah, just audio.
You're just doing audio.
Yeah, because we do it, I'm sitting in my garage, Ty's in his garage.
Right,
so
exactly. Drinking a beer in your shorts.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, you don't need to have all that stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. We do both, but very little. Nobody ever watches it, except for one of our mothers or something like that.
Somebody will find it.
Yeah, I do love your music. And that for us, it was always a big challenge was, what are we going to, the music's got to be really good. And I don't know if you've changed. I haven't gone back that far, but, your music has always been pretty hot and pretty.
So what's really cool about that is when we talked about doing this, I have a longtime friend that his sister's husband makes his own music. He's got a full music room. He plays every instrument.
Oh, wow.
And so I had messaged him like, hey, me and my buddy are starting a podcast. I'm like, I need intro music. I don't want to steal music from something. I'm like, I need intro music. So he sent me like 3 demos that he's had on his computer. No, there was no singing to it or anything. It's just music.
They just need music, yeah.
And we grabbed a couple of them, and Ty and I narrowed it down to 2 of them. One of them sounded more like Super Mario or like a video game, like
007 or something.
Exactly.
So Super Mario never hurt.
Right. So we took those 2 and we went to the one. I'm like, hey, let's use this one. And the same thing, like we just kind of never heard anything bad about, nothing good. It was just kind of there, and everybody knows that music when they come on there. So I'm like, cool, worked out good.
So you've had the same music for how long?
Since the beginning of that. I mean,
oh, really? So this is the same
as far
piece
as I remember.
Oh, good.
We used to record introductions. Remember that?
Oh yeah, we did. I forgot about that.
I got away from that. So like the intro and the exit is a little bit janky sometimes. Where like, how do we flow this in? But we would go out. I think the first one we recorded, Robb had his laptop. We were at a baseball field. And we were holding the laptop, and we're like, "Hey, this is not Robb. We're not using."
With the sun blaring in behind you or in front
of
you,
exactly.
Or whatever.
Well, yeah, we haven't done that. I think we did it for like handful of episodes, and then after that, like I recorded an AI voice to do some intro stuff, and that was it. The music. So.
Oh, that's funny. That is very funny.
I forgot all about that. Yeah.
My vice president is our voiceover for the introduction, but the music is us. We actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm on guitar. Jack is on a mandolin, and Mike, who is my marketing director, is also on guitar. So
that's awesome.
He pulled it all together. We have a little band at the company here. So I have a rule: if you come into the company, you have to have a musical talent, and it can't be guitar, because they'll kick me out of the band. I'm the weakling. But we did record it. That was very important to us that we recorded it. I'm not sure
that's really cool.
I like your music probably better than I like ours, but I'm always self-critical of whatever we're doing. But it's pretty cool. You guys do everything live, which is pretty cool. You still do everything live.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're recording it now. When you it's going out live, or is it going out recorded live? It's going out live.
Yeah, no. When we announce it on Twitter, it's live right there. You log onto it. You're in the space, and then when it gets put out there that I can download it, I download it and kind of cut some off the beginning and the end, and put that great music on there and go.
So there you go. But you're not doing any editing. You're just it is what it is.
It's light editing on Robb's part. I mean, sometimes there's some off the wall stuff being said.
I would think that would be a little nerve-wracking.
There used to be some stuff that was like, when we did it live, that were like, nobody will ever hear this again. So like, it's like, we don't have to worry about it. But now that it's like, if we're recording it, it's like, especially if we have somebody on, like a guest on with us, it'd be like, hey, is there anything you said that, we shouldn't repeat, like that kind of thing? And I can go in there and kind of cut it out, or trade secrets or any of that fun stuff. So
That's too funny.
Allegedly.
But you've had some, I mean, I can imagine being live, you get somebody that would, say something stupid or, trip over their tongue or get embarrassed or something like that. I could.
Yeah, I mean, not for the most part, but I mean, we've had a couple times we've had some people that were not turf people pop in there and start doing some crazy
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
theoretically, anybody could come in.
Anyone,
Yes.
which
Hi-
is encouraged.
Yeah. How do you monitor that? I mean, somebody, some weirdo wants to jump in and talk something, who knows what.
We have control over that. We can mute people. We can kick them out. We can do all that kind of stuff. It was funny. There was a guy that kept coming on there too that I didn't know who it was. He just kept popping on there, and I'm like, who is this guy? And I go to this page, had nothing to do with turf, and the name was kind of janky, and I'm like, I don't know about this. So I kept kicking him out. So Ty texts me, and he's like, hey, that's somebody I know. He's somebody I used to game with back in the day, and he wants to listen. I'm like, wish you would have told me. I kept kicking him out. So.
Would you let him talk? I mean, would he brought anything to the conversation?
I don't think he did. I think he just wanted to listen, really.
I just wanted to listen in.
So when you guys are doing this, you're typically getting people that'll just jump into the conversation, just get online and jump in?
Yeah.
Superintendents?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool, actually.
Sometimes it's like pulling teeth. But
yeah, I bet. I know that feeling.
We joke sometimes if we call on somebody, because I can actually send them something from there that says invite to speak, and then like they're asking you to speak type thing. But a lot of times when you do that, it's like the kiss of death and they drop off.
Right. No.
So they just don't come on. They're like, no, never mind. I just wanted to listen.
Or technical difficulties. So sometimes the mic won't work. We run into that quite a bit, almost weekly, with technical difficulties.
I don't say this as a criticism. I've heard this a couple of times, but that's the glory of being live, though, man.
No, that's what we said. But like,
there's nothing wrong with
that.
that.
It's the real part of it. I mean, the worst though was when we had Bjarni from Iceland on with us, and it was one that he couldn't be on. He's in a other part of the world. It was hard to do time, so we did like a Friday afternoon at like 3:00 or something. And I'm like, we're just basically doing this so we could record it. We have a lot of people come on there, but I mean, we lost him like 6 or 8 times, like just dropping off, like just with losing connections and
bad internet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was probably the worst and the hardest we had to work with it. But I was able to go through again and cut it out and make it sound somewhat like it was a conversation. So
I listened to your podcast with Mike Fidanza and Jim Nagel got dropped off a couple of times.
Oh yeah, yep, exactly.
Who I've had on my podcast, actually. He's a great guy, but he kept coming in. Yeah, I guess he was in his car.
Yes.
But the neat thing, the few that I've listened to I've listened to a handful, but you guys do a very, very good job when you do have issues of working your way through it. I mean, the trick obviously is not to panic, and it's just it's just very matter of fact.
I mean, that's what we do in everyday life and as a superintendent.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You just
with the punches and putting out fires all day and all that stuff.
So who are your mentor podcast mentors? Who did you guys listen to? I mean, not many. When we got into podcasting, there wasn't a whole lot of podcasting really going on. I mean, I tell a joke that Jack Higgins said, "Hey, we were in the heart of COVID, and as a business, we were petrified that we were going to lose touch with everybody." So Jack said, "Hey, let's do a podcast." And I'm like, "That's a great idea." I'm the old guy. And I said, "What's a podcast?" I mean, that's about how much I knew about it. But, obviously in the last, 10, 15 years, it's exploded. And, I mean, how many turf podcasts are there? There's got to be a dozen.
A dozen, I think so. Yeah. So I'll start and I'll let you kind of finish. Rob listens to more podcasts than I do. So when I got started, Mike Rollins with Simplex was doing Rollins on the road. He was driving around and people would pop in. So that was the original inspiration. Was Mike Rollins.
That's
Rollins
cool.
On the road.
Yeah, I've listened to that.
Live. So he was doing it while he was driving. I like that a lot. So I started doing the Turf Talk live and people would pop in. Besides that, I don't really listen to podcasts, which is kind of weird. I know Rob does, but that's it. I did some Rollins on the road and that's it for me.
Do you listen to your own podcast, Ty?
Never. I did one time. I find it really weird, and you get self-critical, and you're like, I get nervous listening to myself. I'm like, oh man, what am I doing?
Yeah,
I think I've listened to one too, and it was one that he did by himself when I wasn't there, so I wanted to listen to it and hear what it was. So, because I don't think I edited much out of that one either. The same thing. It was just like you said, everything was good on there, so I cut off front back and just let it go.
So what's your influences, Rob? I mean, you listen to a bunch.
I listen to all sorts of stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm listening to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Listen to Sean Ryan. I listen to a lot of alien UFO stuff. Just all sorts of stuff. Anything and everything. I mean, Against the Grain, like I was talking about with you earlier, that I've listened to a bunch of their stuff. The Turf Today stuff, I've listened to their stuff. But yeah, I joke that we're like the Joe Rogan of turf, because like we just go, like, you have a
Yeah.
topic, but you just kind of go from there and let it roll from where you're talking about. So I mean, sometimes when we have somebody on, we'll have an agenda in our brains, or we'll text some questions back and forth, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it's, we're just having conversations and
Yeah.
taking it where it takes us.
Yeah. I mean, it's very casual. It's very loose, and you get a
Right.
lot of stuff out of it. So
Right.
what was some of your best podcasts?
For me, I think Matt Shaper was a big one.
Yeah, I
was
can
really
see
fun.
that.
Matt Shaper, Darren Davis was really good.
I could see that.
And John Ballard. John Ballard, we had a lot of fun with.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we had John Ballard on right before the before his tournament, and
It was
he's
great.
good. He was good. Yeah.
His passion just comes through.
Yeah, yeah. He's that kind of a person. So, had you known John? Did you know John?
No, and that's been such. I think the biggest takeaway from doing Turf Talk is reaching out to these renowned superintendents and the professors as well.
Yeah.
And just making that connection, with them.
Now, had they heard of you?
I don't think.
I don't know.
I don't
know.
know.
There's
They're
just
like,
two guys doing this thing down in Florida.
Well, it's like we when we were talking about, on our X page, it says the unofficial podcast of the Treasure Coast chapter, because we're like, we don't know what to put on that, information. But like, knowing now, we know people kind of across the nation, not everywhere, but we're more sporadic than just locally based in South Florida.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more people we've had on that have been from other areas that I was kind of surprised knew who we were. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny business because people do like listening to these kind of conversations. Do you guys do any marketing now at all? Do you advertise for this thing at all?
Not really, just our own X pages. That's about it. I mean, we made some
So
cool
just
hats.
social medias, really, and you just posted things, and it's become.
Yeah.
No Instagram, no Facebook. It's just X. I'm sure we could get a more a broader audience if we did do that, but we just haven't. We just we're kind of satisfied with.
We don't got a marketing guy. We don't got that guy.
You need a marketing guy.
Need a marketing guy.
So but the two of you are just making the phone calls to get people on.
Yeah. Well, let's start like we probably 3 or 4 times a year. Like I have a list on my phone where I'd start writing down like people. I'm like, oh, he'd be cool to have on.
That'd be good.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I have have like a handful of guys, and we just kind of bounce back and forth. Like, hey, should we get a hold of these guys? And like I have a guy on my list I've been trying to get on since like we started this, and it's never worked out. I'm keep trying. He's not a golf guy, but it's somebody that I've had interactions with. And I'm like, I thought it'd be a cool person to have on.
I'll push for it. I know.
Oh yeah, he knows. So maybe we can get him on. He's got some mutual friends that know him. So
do you have a lot of non-turf guys on?
I would say so. I would say maybe 20%.
Oh, really? That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
One of the guys that used to be a regular was just the guy that took care of his lawn. He went through a tough divorce and he dove deep into taking care of his lawn and overseeding it, buying a real mower. And he just stumbled upon our space on X, and he would come in and listen.
He was in Oklahoma.
So we're based in Oklahoma.
Yeah. There's a group called the Fescue Freaks that do this. I don't know if the Fescue Freaks, and we have a very dear friend, Ollie Poole, who is kind of a big part of this. And these are guys that love to grow grass at home and stripe it. And if you find Ollie's site, he's got overhead, drone pictures of this beautiful property with this incredibly striped yard. I mean, it's his entire passion, and he gets all these guys on, and they just talk about home lawn care for in a couple hours with a bourbon in their hand. At night it's a live thing, and I think they're still doing it. I think they slowed it down a little bit, but it was just a bunch of guys that grew grass at home. and they brought us in a couple times so we could talk a little bit about, some of the tricks of the trade. But and they'd have, other guys in the business, but for the most part, it was just a bunch of guys doing lawn care. I mean, they're home, and that was the extent of it.
We had the guys from Lawn Tools on with us. They're that same way. They got just freaking beautiful lawn out there. Where they at? I don't remember where they are. They Arkansas? Yeah. Like if you look them up, they're huge on TikTok and Instagram, Lawn Tools, and they do all these videos and short videos and stuff. And he's got this huge acreage in his backyard, and it's all mowed with Toro mowers, and he's got all this new Toro equipment and stuff. But the same thing, it's got these drone pictures. It's just like, that's your house. Like, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, some of these guys have become influencers now, and that's a whole new
that's what
new
he is.
industry.
Exactly. He won a TikTok award. He was like, top 5, and it was crazy.
And a lot of these guys are getting those Toro mowers given to them, and their fertilizer given to them, and their seed given to them, and it's just like, wow, it's a whole world out there that, and it's, from a business standpoint, it's, they're influencers, so it is what it is, but some of the pictures that they're putting out are pretty damn cool,
It really is.
And I think of my lawn as like one of the worst in the neighborhood, it's like, Jesus.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while I might throw some fertilizer on it, but other than that, it's just like, I don't have time. Most superintendents that I know are probably the same way.
My backyard's pretty decent for the most part. We resodded it with zoysia grass.
Oh, there you go.
I got like, what is like 100 square foot that I still need to finish back there, but the front yard looks like garbage. It's just bad. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's too many cars at the house anyway half the time.
That's pretty funny. Have you gotten into any situations with anybody that was uncomfortable and things of that nature that you had to dance even harder on?
Not with
any drunks coming on and
yeah, we did.
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
It was interesting. It was interesting. He was very talkative.
I bet.
Got to a point where it was distracting, and then we just kind of
dump button. Yeah,
we just kind of muted it there, and then opened up the opportunity and steered the conversation to different directions.
I did have a guy that I was talking to that I wanted him to come on, and he's like, "Yeah, great, I'll come on there and everything." And so we lined it all up, and it was, I think it was that day I put something out that, hey, he was going to come on with us or whatever, and he texted me or messaged me like an hour later. He's like, "Hey, I got shot down today. I can't do it." And then literally I know he wasn't the main guy in charge of what we were bringing on, and nobody else knew about it. And he was just going to be him coming on. And he's like, I don't have the authority to do that. I'm like, crap. So it kind of backfired a little bit.
That would have been great if you could have gotten, then of course you would have gotten him fired, but that,
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry about that, bud.
Right. Oh, well, but you're on Turf Talk.
Yeah. Yeah. You've had a whole bunch of, so you've mostly had superintendents on, I assume, right? Most of the guys.
Superintendents, we've had a couple like companies come on. We had Firefly on with us when we were talking about the different mowers, and had conversations about different things, and Nick Pappas came on.
Oh, really?
Some of the field guys, we had him on there. That was a cool one. And then the guy from Patriots,
Ryan Bjorn.
Yeah, Ryan and Bjorn came on.
Yeah, he's been on our podcast. He's great.
Yeah,
he's wonderful.
That was awesome.
Yeah, Ryan he's class.
That's what like. It's not about golf what we're doing. It's just anything we find interesting that's in the in the industry at all. Any of our industries here, the green industry basically.
Tanner Kaufman was on.
We've had Tanner on a couple of times with GGL.
Really? Then we went down and volunteered because
that was awesome.
It's like an hour away from where we're at right now.
That's perfect. So you made a contact.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We were joking because he had us go down there the Monday after the Honda Classic, and that's when they do the infamous member guest at Seminole.
Oh, so really?
He needed some of his guys were helping out at his place, and he's like, I don't have much help that day. We're like, well, you got us. Let's go.
Yeah,
so
we got nothing to do.
And every Monday after the Honda, we're joking that we're just going to do it every year. Just go help them.
Did you get to play?
No, we didn't get to hit anything. We just we got to see a lot of stuff that people don't get to see though, which was cool.
No, that's in its own right well worth it.
Exactly. And
want me out there hitting the ball.
Yeah,
you have to watch the people if Ty's hitting.
You can't punt from there.
Even though they're behind them, they might hit them still. So
I take it you're not golfers.
Robb's decent.
I can play a little bit. Yeah, I'm okay.
30.
Well, you've been playing since a kid though, right, Rob?
I played. Well, technically, I started when I was like 12. But I didn't really play until I started to get to high school there. So
I still have. I haven't really started playing
Yeah.
He swings the clubs. That's it. That's what he's got going.
I can relate to that. I can absolutely relate to that. I'm on some of the best golf courses in the country, and
Absolutely.
and I don't play golf. It's, people say, "Oh man, you must have the greatest job. You got to play all the." Yeah, no, I don't play anybody. I tell this story. I did a lot of work at Pine Valley with Rick Christian, and I would go in a lot. And he goes, "You're the only guy that ever comes here that doesn't beg me to play golf." I said, "I'm not going to beg you to play golf. Besides, I'd rip the hell out of your golf course, and you'd hate me."
Yeah, it's probably better that I don't.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I drove around it an awful lot, and it's stunning, but I don't need to play it to get the value of it. The architecture alone is quite good.
Right.
You've had my friend John Riley on a few times, haven't you?
Oh yeah,
We love John.
Does he pop in? I knowing John, does he just like get on while you're talking to somebody else?
The
And
best though is
him?
when he pops on and he's riding like his e-bike.
Riding the bike.
And he's riding the bike in the longboat. Yeah, you just hear the wind and you hear him, at it like a crosswalk, and you hear and that stuff in the background, or
Where are you?
dogs barking and stuff. Yeah, he's great. He's a maniac. I love it. Great guy. But yeah, he'll pop on, and he has also such great knowledge on stuff. He'll pop on. We're having a conversation about something and put his 2 cents into it, or he knows somebody that we have on there and he's talking to them too. And he's a big help with that. Same thing with Todd Lowe. Todd Lowe comes on a lot with us.
I bet. Yeah.
He's a huge help too, huge friend, all that kind of stuff.
So these guys pop in while you have other guests, or is this just you guys talking and they pop? I mean, I again, I'm not sure I completely follow. I love your format. I think I'd be too scared to do it, but you just have people pop on while because you're live, right? So people will just call in.
It's wide open. Anybody can join at any time.
Wow.
And we can have it set up that we can set it up that you have to request to speak. Like we have some of the bigger name people, we might put it on there that you have to request to speak, or you have to be a follower of us to be able to speak, stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see you not wanting to interrupt Matt Schaefer or somebody like that. Aaron. But yeah, that kind, I mean, the format is kind of cool. So do you guys actually get into day-to-day grass growing? I mean, is that much of the conversation? I mean, or is it just whatever's happening today kind of stuff? I mean,
sometimes it does. Yeah. Sometimes it works its way in.
Yeah. I would think guys would want to talk. I mean, being grass growers, I would think guys would want to come in and talk about what's going on today and, what's new and stuff like that.
Yeah, some new tech. We'd like to talk about new tech. Bunker Roomba was a hot topic about a year ago. Bunker Roomba, I won it.
Great marketing work. It's just, I thought when I first heard that, I thought, oh, that's pretty classic. I'm not sure it's going to fly, but it's.
I think there's a way you could do it. I just don't think it's there yet.
Yeah. Well, all these things are I mean, the technology is just, it blows my mind. I mean, we bring a lot of technology people in, and I'm convinced that golf courses will have tech managers sooner than later.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. Yeah. It just makes sense.
Yeah, between the robots and irrigation and now more and more stuff, drones, who knows the technology that's going to evolve in the next 5-6 years. Do you get a lot of, and this is a very selfish question, but do you get a lot of agronomy talk? You guys have guys talking soils?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Todd Lowe likes that stuff.
Yeah, I would think
he'll bring it in there and do a lot of that. That'll kind of entice us into that kind of thought process.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let me break it out individually now. Robb, you've been doing this how long? How did you get into this? You were born in Long Island and got out of there before the snow, and you've been in Florida for most of your life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got into really when I was like 15 is when I started working on a golf course. So 25 years.
Oh, wow.
But it really started for me when I played soccer growing up, and my 2 soccer coaches were Roy McDonald, who was an area superintendent. I didn't know any of this stuff at the time, but he was an area superintendent. And then the other soccer coach, Keith Kruger, he ran the turf program at South Park High School. And little did I know that I was, you don't like using the word groomed, but I felt like I was being, pushed in that direction because, we playing soccer and I'm like, what are these dog turds all over the soccer field? And they're like, they're aerification cores. I'm like, I didn't know what any of this stuff was.
What's that?
Yeah. And that's kind of where it really started. And would go out to the high school, during the summer with my friend Ryan, who was his son that was on the soccer team, that we go out there and mess around because the dad had to go into work. It was a golf course, even though he was at the high school, it was still a golf course.
Yeah.
So you have to go in there and we'd go and putts around there. And between that and then getting introduced to the game and work from there. And actually the course that I'm at right now, Hammock Creek, is the first golf course I had not a full-time job, but really worked at, because I worked at another course that was part-time, but then I started working here and was working in the bag room and down in maintenance and in the driving range. And this was 20 years ago. So it was kind of cool coming back to the same area that I was in. But, from there, I went to Indian River State College and got a 2-year degree, and just worked my way up from being on the crew at those times to being a spray tech at Piper's Landing. That's right around the corner from here, to an assistant superintendent, and to a superintendent. And here I am now.
So what dog do you know that poops out perfect little cylindrical?
There was a lot of them. There must have been a lot of dogs. I don't know, but it was just very. I didn't know what it was.
That's actually very funny. Do you remember your first day on a golf course?
So I remember my first interview / day. So it was at Martin Downs Country Club, and my Keith Kruger had called in, and they said, we got a hire guy wants to work on the weekends. So
you already got an in basically from that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I went in for an interview though, and I met the superintendent, which was at the time John Cunningham was the superintendent.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So I've known John a long time.
And you were 15 at the time?
I think I was 16 now because I was able to drive at this point.
Have you gotten John on the podcast?
Did we have him on? I think we did have him on. I don't remember having him, but I know we have Carlos. I've known Carlos too.
Although you might not want to bring him on. He might tell stories about you that you don't want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he wasn't there very long when I was there. So
okay, good.
But I do remember him very well. So he was there, and then we had one of the superintendents came in, and then they had the Spanish superintendent, Jesus. So, I'd put on my what kind of resume can you have when you're 16 years old? But I'd put on there that I had taken some Spanish in high school when I was in high school there. And he comes in and he's like, he says a bunch of stuff in Spanish. I'm like, I don't know anything you just said.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So that was like my first day. I remember that on the first interview, but then I remember going out to the course and they threw me right on changing cups immediately. Like, this kid's a high school kid. He plays golf. Here you go. So I didn't do it by myself originally. I was with another guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but I rode with him probably the first month, every weekend for the first month, riding through the course, knowing how to do it. They kept me we had 2 courses there. They kind of kept me on the one course when I was doing cups, but kept me on that one. And, in a month in, I was cutting cups every Saturday, Sunday for them, and, let their guys do some other things. So, but I remember that part of it. Yeah.
Had you decided at that point, this is your career?
Yeah, I think I kind of knew at that point that, I really love doing it. So, yeah.
And it's not been bad, has it? I mean, it's,
I've always been a morning person, like, all my life. I've never been, a night person. Like, if it's after 10 o'clock, I've always said nothing good happens after midnight, but I mean, after 10 o'clock, I'm kind of done. Like,
that's
no matter
what you call good, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, so I'd rather wake up at 5:30 than go to bed at midnight, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Since a kid, you were doing that.
That's just never really been that night person. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're at Hammock Creek, and that's in Palm City. And is that your first official super's job?
This is my first on my own.
Okay.
I was a superintendent under directors down at Hunter's Run, and then at East Point and Palm Beach Gardens too.
So tell me about Hammock Creek. What's the property like? How big is it? What's it all about?
So I jokingly say it's my 140-acre office. But it's somewhere right in that range. It was built in 1996 by Jack and Jack Nicholas II. It was actually designed to be, a championship golf course that they hosted at that time, the Golden Bear Tour that was in South Florida.
Yeah.
This was kind of their home base. The driving range has 2 ends. They can hit balls from both directions. I was just talking to somebody this morning. I was, joking how this course used to be a long golf course. It's, it's 7,200 from the tips, and that's not long anymore. But, it used to be like, that was a long golf course in the 90s. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're I call it a semi-public golf course. We do have some memberships, but it's more just about, you don't have to pull your credit card out when you get here. Your round's paid for and you go play. And
right.
But we do right now from January through April, we're doing 240 rounds a day nonstop.
Wow.
It's packed. Little sporadic during the summer, but you get your normal till about 9-10 o'clock, and then it trails off and then starts open again at 3, because we have actually a range only program too, where you can just hit as many range balls as you want, and then there's you pay a cart fee in the afternoon and you can go play 18 holes, whatever. So
we need more courses like that out there,
right? Yep.
I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
demand for public golf is like astronomical, and
Yeah.
the supply isn't really there.
Right. Especially in our area down here, man.
Yeah.
There's so many golf courses, but like you said, there's not as many public
Yeah.
as there can be.
Well, and there's so much explosion and growth right now in your neighborhood that it's
Yes.
nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been down there quite a bit, and it's just every time you can't throw a dead cat without finding a new golf course, you know.
hmm
And they're massive properties. I mean, some of these properties, 4, 5, 6 golf courses, you know.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy. What's the ownership structure at Hammock Creek?
So we have one principal owner who's here every day. There
Okay,
are some
so
other owners,
single
another
owner?
that's on the but he's got a partner that's on the west coast of Florida too. Then some other silent partners that are thrown
Okay.
in there too. But I have one person that's here every day that is kind of the leader. So
Do you have a GM?
no, we don't have a GM. We have an owner, and then we have a head golf pro, and that's it.
And you.
So, yep.
So that's the management team.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so you're doing 240 rounds a day during peak season. How do you get work done?
You get it done in the morning, and you just chip away at it after that.
Yeah.
Luckily, for the most part, I mean, grass isn't growing at that point as often as it needs to. You know, in the
Yeah.
summer, we're mowing rough, we're finishing rough, and turn around and going again because way this place is designed is outside your first 2 passes of rough, it's Bermuda grass, and then it goes to Bahia. So
Oh,
it's just
okay.
throwing up seed heads all summer long. So it's just one of those you finish up 18, you turn back around and keep going. So,
Yeah.
but in the winter, it's not as crazy. So we just gotta, you're doing your bunkers and doing stuff like that. You might not get 6 holes done a day when you had your bunkers. Might be 4, but you do what you do and just keep
Yeah.
chipping away.
Got a bunker Roomba, you know?
Get the Roomba.
Get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Roomba. You should get that,
Throw,
man.
throw the Turf Talk sticker on it. Be good to
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Be perfect. Be perfect. Your greens, I assume, are sand-based?
Yep, sand based.
USG?
Yep.
How old are they?
So they got stripped and redone in 2013 or 2015. I can't remember which year it was. Kevin Downing actually was here,
Okay.
consultant, and he did it all.
Just the regrassing?
Yeah, just regrass, and the underneath is still the same.
What's the grass?
So we got Tip Eagle on greens. Fairways and stuff is old 419. Some of the tees are still 419, but there's a couple that are Celebration. There's a couple that are Bimini. But overall, that's what it is. The Bimini's nice, man. Like this range tee, we redid this range tee back here that we have a golf school that teaches out of here too, or a golf academy on the back tee by me. And we regrassed it and expanded that tee, and that Bimini just grows.
Yeah. That's the hot grass right now. A lot of people are talking about Bimini.
Yeah, they love it up here.
It sounds like a Prudential commercial. Bimini, Bumini, what?
Exactly. Liberty Bimini. Yeah.
Yeah, Liberty Bimini, whatever it is. Ty, what's your background? You're actually from Manassas, Virginia, a place I know quite well.
Yeah. So I grew up there.
Are you a
Moved to-
Maryland grad? Did you go to school up there?
No, I went to Rutgers. Because Chris McCarthy, when I was working at Virginia Oaks, went there and he recommended it.
What years were you at Rutgers?
2014, 2015. No, 2014, 2015.
Yeah, so you missed me by a year. I was there from 96 to 2006. Oh, no, you missed me by 10 years. Sorry.
By 10
Bumper
years.
checker, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Time flies.
Yeah, well, I slept last night, so everything's been downloaded. But yeah, I taught the 2-year class. I taught the second year soils class for 10 years from 96 to 2006. It seems
That was
like
my
it
worst
wasn't that long.
class.
Yeah.
I got a C+ in that one. That was my worst.
It is soil tutor.
Yeah, it was funny because when I got there, they had this ridiculous curriculum. It was baccalaureate level stuff. So I remember taking it in my briefcase on a plane to California for the GIS and reading this and saying, nobody can teach this. I mean, nobody needs this. These guys don't need this kind of stuff. So I went back and I revamped the whole thing. So back then it was soils 1, soils 2, and soil fertility. And the soil fertility guy was leaving, so they'd asked me to teach that. And I said, it was nuts. It was really nuts, but
Too much.
It's a good program, and they've had some good people go through there, and you probably
the best program. It's the best.
Yeah, yes, I'd say so. So you had Buckley anyway. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
So you learned all your disease stuff from Mr. Buckley, who was
Love him. He was my favorite. He really
of course.
was.
Yeah, well, you didn't have me, so but that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
So how did you get into golf, though? I mean, how did that all start?
Yeah. So moved around a little bit as a kid, and then we actually moved up to New York for a little bit when I was in middle school, and came back down to Virginia, moved next door to my old house in Virginia.
Really?
Yeah, it
That's
was
pretty
awesome.
funny.
It was amazing.
Were there same people there?
Same people, same neighbors. It was like we
Yeah.
never left.
Did
It
they
was so
remember you?
cool.
Oh, this terror. He's back. He's back.
Yeah. Like, we just got rid of them. Dinner
Yeah.
time. So same
Wow.
friends. It was really cool. And then played sports in high school. Went to Brentsville
Okay.
District High
Yep.
School,
Yep.
which is the Tiger Turf Talk. They didn't have the turf program back then. Graduated, got a scholarship to play lacrosse. Went out to Shenandoah University for a semester and didn't focus on school. I didn't focus on school. So
Shocking.
I failed out, dropped out, I guess, both.
Decided to change career paths.
Yeah, so I moved back home, and there was a course right down the street that I rode my bike to, and they were hiring, and I started working on the range. And
Is this Virginia Oaks?
No, it wasn't Virginia Oaks. It was Broad Run Golf and Practice.
Oh, Broad Run, yeah.
Yeah. They're closed now too.
I was going to say they're not opening.
They're closed now too.
Yeah.
It's not a great.
I see a pattern here, Ty.
Yeah, yeah, I see to say. Yeah.
So I worked there on the range. I said, hey, guy, I saw the maintenance guys. If you need help, just let me know. I guess they thought I was looking for a job. So the next day they interviewed me to work on the maintenance crew. And I did.
How
it.
old
It was
were you?
$1 more. I think I was making $725. Went from $625 to $725. I was like, yes, I'll do it. And
how
then
old were you at the time?
I was 19.
Okay, so you were out of high school though.
Yeah, out of high school. And I fell in love with it.
Yeah, good.
I fell in love with it. Wanted to go back to school for it at the community college, and then the class didn't fill up. So I got back into going to school. Went to school at the community college for IT, and I had no passion for it. I kept thinking about the golf course. And then I went back to Virginia Oaks to look for a job because I loved it. And one of the people that worked at Broad Run was working at Virginia Oaks, and it was a shoe-in. And that's how I met Chris. It was a lady named Kathleen. She worked in the clubhouse. So I knew her from working on.
But Chris was the super at the time when you.
Chris was the super, yeah.
He probably had just gotten there when I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he was like 26 or 27.
Yeah, I think he was young.
He was young.
Yeah.
Learned a lot. Still loved it.
And what happened to Virginia Oaks?
Ownership.
Yeah, it broke apart and it's closed, isn't it? Yeah.
A bunch of times. So when I got there, it was Casper.
Yeah.
Then they sold. And then the new owners had a lot in real estate. And real estate in Northern Virginia is, a gold
prime.
Mine.
Yeah.
So I think they're building houses on it now. There's some permitting issues they had.
Yeah. But another great spot in the country for golf. I mean, there's some phenomenal golf courses right there.
Right. Yeah, we'd see Robert Trent Jones across the lake. They would hit balls over from RTJ to our golf course. I'd take the ball, throw it in the lake. I'll throw back the homer. But
that's
then
very funny.
Chris recommended going to Rutgers, so I went to Rutgers the first year. Came back, worked for them again. Did an internship out at the Vaquero Club in Texas, and then came back to Virginia Oaks. And I told them, hey guys, after I graduate, if you don't pay for the school, I'm going to look at other options. They're like, we just can't afford that.
Yeah, exactly.
That opened up the opportunity once I was graduating to look at other places to go. And Florida, my girlfriend at the time, she's my wife now, her dad had a house down in Florida. And I said, hey, if I get this job, could I live with you? And he's like, absolutely. So
this is before you were married.
Yeah, before we were married.
Wow. That's a vote of confidence.
It's fun. It was a good time.
It was just checking you out, making sure you're good enough.
Yeah, so I got a job at Piper's Landing and started working there as a second assistant right after I
This is graduated. Right out of Rutgers?
Yeah, right out of Rutgers.
Oh, good.
Right out of Rutgers, moved down. Worked at Piper's for about 4 years. Then went to Loxahatchee Club for a couple years, and then now I'm at Grove.
Is this your first Supers job?
I'm still an assistant.
Oh, you are an assistant. Okay. I think I knew that. Sorry about that. But what a great course, though. Who's the architect at Grove? I don't remember.
Bobby Weed originally.
It was Bobby Weed, yeah.
And then DL3 came in last summer, and we redid it last summer.
You guys are doing some, Matt, Rob and I were talking before you got around, Ty, but you guys are doing this thing with what is it called? First Greens? The school,
First
the high
green.
school.
Yeah, it's Southport High School. Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's some first green events that we do there, but we just do that out of something that we want
You
to do.
even have the flag above your head.
Yeah.
I could have just read that.
Yeah. Backwards,
But
but it's okay.
talk about that, because that's cool as hell, and that's the kind of stuff that we all should be doing. I mean, it's great give back, and we need to get young people into the business anyway, one on either side, golfing side or greenskeeping side.
Yeah,
I think it's so important. I really do. Getting the kids involved. They're the next generation. We
Yeah.
can't take golf courses forever. We
So
love it so much.
how did you get into it, and how would anybody else be able to find something like this? I mean, talk about what it is and how you got into it first.
Well, ours is a little unique because, the high school that we've done some stuff with, it's the high school I went to, but they have a 3-hole par 3 golf course that's there that we're in the process of redoing and things. In a couple of years, it'll be completely redone again. But so they have, they're taking classes, doing some turf grass things and doing some agronomy things and plants and stuff. So it's kind of easy getting in there, knowing that I know the person that's a teacher now. I've known her since kindergarten. So it was very easy to connect with her and go in there and do some things. We've got a couple of our friends, Justin Carlton and Carlton Marshall, Lee Marshall. They went in there and talked to him too.
That's cool.
And, just showed them some different things and talked to them about different avenues with careers and stuff. But between doing that, and then Ty and I went out there and we flushed some mole crickets with them, showed them mole crickets, and Ty showed them the mole whisperer here showed them how to trace down a mole and put some mole traps in. So I mean, and then there's actually at the CTS next week they're doing a high school science bowl, kind of like the turf bowl they do for college, but it's a lot less. It's going to be more fun than what they have to really do. But so they came out here one day a couple weeks ago, and I showed them how to cut cups and use a stimp meter and use a moisture meter and do things like that. Yeah, just the technology stuff, and that's the biggest thing too. Like you're saying, all the technology that is coming up through the industry here that everybody's going to love. They can learn it now and then be able to kind of get ahead of the game a little bit. But just showing them that there's an industry here, and it's not what everybody some of the bad stuff that people say about golf courses and stuff. It's come out and see it and you see the wildlife and you see what's going on. That it's a worthwhile cause.
Is that still the impression people have? Is that we're just poison providers and whatever?
You hear it every once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've changed the stigma a lot over the last couple of years.
I hope so. I think we have, actually.
Yes.
I mean, if you think about it, we're doing probably more for oxidizing the environment than anybody. We're growing a cover crop, for God's sake, that's constantly sequestering carbon out of the atmosphere.
I don't remember if it was when it happened at my course or another course that they had some vandalism and they'd posted on Facebook or whatever, and people had commented, "Oh, that's good. It could only happen at a golf course or should happen. They're did this and that." And I'm just like, really, people? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
So,
It's ignorance,
That's
all it is.
there's a lot of that too.
But it's a shame because there is so many good things and it's open space and and it's everything. So how many kids are in this program?
Let's see.
Is it 50 or so?
I think it's a little bit more than that now. I think there's probably about 75, I'd say.
Really?
Because there's a couple classes worth. Because they have, the lower levels, and because it's a high school, so it's 4 years.
Yeah.
So they get the lower levels in the middle, and then the higher ends of it. So,
and they have a golf team too that works on that uses this facility.
Not anymore. When we had it back in the day, we did use it when it was back in the day when it was when the funds were there and everything was kept up as how it should be. Yeah. We did some stuff on it, but once we get it back again, we'll definitely do some more stuff out there. So
and Ty, you're what are you whispering? You're whispering moles?
Moles, yeah. I'm really good at catching moles. I can pull them out with my hand. I see them move, I just reach in and grab them.
He just pulls them out like they're like magic.
Bite their head off and go on. Is that what happens? Yeah.
I haven't done it yet, but the Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I was going to say, next time the kids are over there, do that. That would really impress them. Just take get a little plastic one maybe and fake it with them and see what happens. No, I think that's unbelievably, I think it's great that you guys do this. I mean, it's just giving back to this industry and getting kids excited about it. We were talking on another podcast recently, and this whole youth golf thing is blowing up, and it's great. I mean, we as an industry have been enjoying a real explosion on golf, and I think one one of the things that's really leading to this now, or at least going to continue it, is youth golf. And not only on the golfing side, the kids that are going to go out and play golf, but, getting guys to do this. I mean, think about it right now. First of all, labor shortages are so bad. And there's so many kids. I have a 26-year-old, and he still doesn't know what he wants to be when he grows up.
Mhm.
And having an opportunity not to have to think about it, getting into an operation like you guys both did it as kids, really,
Right.
at that young age, and finding a career that's gonna, I mean, hell, between you, you got what, 43 kids? I mean, you guys got a crew between you. So
The
you're obviously supporting families and
Yeah,
kids, and
and starting them, like you said, starting them young. Even with going to I always do the career day at my kids' elementary school, and bring in some stuff. And
yeah,
one of the ones I remember that was outside of there. So when I was at East Point during, it was a very club that people would come down from up north to come see their grandparents and stuff. So they'd all bring the grandkids down, and always the week of, I think it was Thanksgiving, Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, and then on President's Week is always a big week that they get, time off from up north. So they come down. So it was used to get these little camps that they would take the kids and they would do, an hour of tennis, an hour at the driving range. They do some different stuff. And I'd gone up to the lady who was running. I'm like, hey, what if you give me 10 or 15 minutes a day and show them something we do? Whatever it
I
ends
love
up
it.
being,
Yeah.
cutting cups or, pictures of wildlife, or doing like pulling the drone out. The drone was freaking amazing.
Oh, I bet they love
Doing
that.
stuff like that. And they were just so intrigued by it. I brought equipment up. They do on the last day, they always put this big water slide up on this big grass area. So I brought up, a rough mower, a tractor, some different pieces of equipment. They got to climb all over it and see this different stuff. And, it was really awesome. They gave me like some sort of like award for the club for, something amazing type thing for doing this. I didn't think anything of that I was going to do anything like that, but this was something cool to do. But,
Yeah, that's cool.
those kids, they came back the next time that they were down, and they're like, hey, there's Mr. Robb. And they're waving to me on the cart when I'm riding by, and yelling to me because they remembered it, and it struck with them. So,
Wait, you're Mr. Robb? I thought
yeah,
he was
guess so,
Mr.
or-
Robb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's too many Robs over here.
You got a lot of
B.
Mr. Robbs on this podcast.
This is Rob and Robaba over here. Yeah, my kids call him Ty Robaba. So,
That's
yeah.
too funny.
Yeah.
It sounds like both of you guys have a very, very good handle on this thing that I hate. I hate this term, but this life balance scenario. I
Right.
mean, when I got into the industry in the early 90s, superintendents were working, 250 hours a week. And which was stupid, quite honestly, then, and it's still stupid. But it sounds like you guys both have. I mean, you both have. Help me with this. 2 or 3 kids each.
Rob has 4. I have 2.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. So I'm off by but the numbers are about right.
Close.
So,
Yeah.
47 kids.
It feels like 47.
It feels like it.
Yeah, but I mean that's got to be tough. I mean, a superintendent's life is not easy. I mean, you're there constantly, but sounds like certainly Rob, you're doing baseball and doing everything else. So you guys have both learned this nice balance between how you're working and having the family.
Not easy. I know that.
It's not easy.
It's
No.
not.
I always go back to, everybody talks about him, but the late Steve Wright was always really good at that work-life balance. And I took a lot from that, hearing more stories about him. And, the couple times I got to meet him and play golf with him, it definitely stuck out. Like you got to get to that point in your career that you can balance it out. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's extremely important, and you'll just burn out, and then you'll wake up one day after 25 years of doing this and realize your kids are in college,
Right.
And that's not right for you or for them, and but yeah, you're right, Ty. It's not easy. I mean, but nothing's easy. I mean, no job's gonna ever be easy, and there's gonna be times when you're not gonna be able to be there. Obviously, neither one of you are doing any construction currently, are you?
No, we're done. We just finished ours.
You're all done. Yeah, you just opened, right? How old is Grove now?
6 years, 6, 7 years.
Okay. Oh, it's older than I thought it was. Okay. It's a beautiful golf course, by the way. It's stunning.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's but you're right in the heart of where everything is happening in Florida.
Blown up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Did you guys get hit by any hurricanes in the last
We were
2 years?
very, very lucky that we did not. Nothing substantial.
We had a couple scares last year.
Tornado.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You got the tornadoes. I remember that. Yeah.
That was that craziness.
Yeah,
That
I
was
remember
nuts.
that. I mean, Marshall Evans, who works for us, I was on the phone with him, and he's sitting at home. I'm like, "Why are you home?" But there's tornadoes could blow you away. It's just like, yeah, that was pretty ugly. There was like 100 of them popping up from that one
It was
hurricane.
wild. I've never seen anything like it.
I
Did
go
you get
to
any damage from that?
Not much.
Yeah.
Shingles and stuff.
Yeah, my
Good for
stuff.
forever.
Yeah.
Trash.
I go to this allergy doctor every week at allergy shots, and the girl that does the shots, it was her first ever summer in Florida, and that hurricane came through, and she was like, "I'm out of here. I'm done." Like I'm like, they're not all like this. This is like an out of an ordinary type storm that happened. So had to talk her off the ledge a little bit. So
We're shoveling 20 inches of snow right now. So
yeah, I'm good with 20 inches of sunshine over here.
yeah, exactly. It's it's not horrible, but it's but it's funny because it's very pretty when it comes down, but then days later when you've got literally mountains of snow and you have to create paths to get anywhere. You just have to start breaking apart ice and snow to get apart. I think about going down, but then I did come down to Orlando 2 weeks ago and it was bloody cold. So
Right.
hopefully next week, which will be the GIS in Orlando, will be warmer than that because we're all looking forward to it.
It'll
Are
be
you
a
guys
little-
going to come up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll both
You'll
be
both
there.
be there.
Yeah.
So, Rob, you're now kind of moving on. You're going to be on the dark side of the world, huh? How's that feeling?
Yeah, we're moving to the dark side.
There you go.
It's interesting. It's fun. Sometimes you need a change, and I feel like this was a great opportunity, and I think I'm gonna give it a shot, and we'll give it a whirl. But I'm really confident in what I'm able to do, and the guys I'm gonna be working with, and the company and stuff. That I feel like it's gonna be a good thing.
Well, don't call it the dark side because it's really not. I mean, you're
Right.
if you do it well, you're providing a lot of help for a lot of superintendents. I mean, it really is a very noble profession if you do it right.
And that's the other thing about it too, is that how we do turf talk, like we like helping people and conversating
Right.
and stuff like that. And I think that's just another extension of that. So
Yeah, I mean that's what we all should be doing anyway, and that's how you should think about it. It's not a free pass to go play golf every day, but
right.
and
They-
I'm saying that as an owner, so I'm giving you some advice. How about that?
Jokingly, the first event after I had announced that I was doing this, we go to this event and I ended up winning. Me and my teammate ended up winning this chapter event that we
perfect.
did. And they're like, "Oh, just like a sales guy already, huh? You already won the golf stuff.
You're in.
Like, this golf." I'm like, "Really, guys? Come on."
You'll get a lot of that, my friend. You'll get a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of that as time goes on. As time goes on, I hate to tell you guys this, but we just blew an hour. We just went through a whole hour, which was pretty amazing, as I told you. But you guys have done this before, so like I said, I don't have any. I got to start putting out you have exit music. You guys bring back the music, but
There we go.
I guess maybe we do because I'm like you. I don't really listen to my podcast, so I probably should listen to them and see what the hell it sounds like in reality. But I love what you're doing. I certainly love what you guys are doing with First Green. I think that's a takeaway for everybody to think about. I mean, giving back to their community and getting people into this industry that has, like I said, I mean, there's so many kids that I see and I work with. I spend a lot of time with big brothers and big sisters, and you just see these kids that are lost. And man, what a great industry for them to find a home in that can give them a good career path and make them decent money and work outside, for God's sake. I mean, it's just keep doing that. I mean, if you do that, and encourage everybody you ever talk to as you're getting around. You'll be seeing a lot of people, Rob. So talk it up because that's one of those things that I just I get very excited about, and I think it's the kind of stuff that we need to do to give back. But
another high school story was kind of on those same lines that nobody realizes is a profession. We had a recruiter, like Air Force recruiter or Army recruiter, who came in and he gave you a postcard and he said, write down what you want to do, when you're an adult. So I wrote down golf course superintendent. He's like, I bet you, he got through everything. He's, I bet you everybody in this class has something you can do in the military. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I showed him, and he's like, I don't even know what that is. And he had no clue like what a golf course superintendent was or what we did or anything about it. And he's like, knowing now, there's military bases that have golf courses on.
Yeah, I work on the Army Navy. Yeah.
He had no clue about it. And I was like, I'm like, I finally stumped you. You're going to remember this for a long time now that there was somebody that had a job.
But there is. Yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
Ty, you probably know that there's a couple right around Manassas, the the Air Force and Navy or whoever the hell they are, the Army Navy courses and
Monaco.
Yeah, there you go. There's a whole bunch of that stuff. Yeah. So there is opportunities. Even with an IT background or potential IT background. But see, you got to use your IT experience from college doing the podcasting. So
a little bit. Rob does all the IT stuff now. I stay out.
So you don't even do it then.
Now I got the iPhone, so I can do some of the stuff that I wasn't able to do before. So yeah,
that's too funny. What do you guys have for technology? Do you have a whole bunch of microphones and all that stuff? We got.
I don't have mine on me.
I got that. That's
Oh,
it.
is that what you're recording
That's
off of? Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Headphones.
I use a Fi-Fine microphone. That's the only we do.
Yeah,
And then, it's a direct microphone. It works really well.
Well, the funny part about the spaces though is that you have to use your phone for it. So that's the weird part too, is you can't go on the computer. You can listen, I think, on the computer
now.
Can you?
Can
Okay.
now,
Well,
yeah.
when we started, it was always been that you got to be on the phone. So that's kind of the weird part about it too.
Oh, so that's even harder to manage it.
Yeah, exactly.
You got your hands full.
Yep.
It's good.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention this, but we own the word turf talk. I don't know if you know that. We've been doing a turf talk. We've been doing a turf talk since
Not in Florida. I did a fictitious name on it, and it wasn't registered in Florida, so we took the fictitious name in Florida turf talk.
We call ours a 2-minute turf talk.
Oh yeah. There's a couple other ones.
Yeah.
We did some research on it when we were doing it because it was going to be Turf Talk Tuesday. And I was going to 2 Robs, but then it's not Tuesdays every time. So we didn't want to put that Tuesday.
Yeah, it started off as Turf Talk Tuesdays. Then we changed the date, so we just dropped the Tuesday.
Turf Talk's a great name, especially for what you're doing. So
Keep
it up. I look forward to jumping on with you one of these days, and we can flip the script a little bit.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Figured out. Stop by the trade show, 3:00. We've got a cocktail party, so we're going to try to run this week, hopefully before I announce this. But we always have a big ass cocktail party at 3:00 in our booth, and you'll see a couple hundred people, probably 100 people, So
Cool.
Beautiful.
Please stop by. Thank you guys so much for joining me and doing this, and I look forward to catching up with you a little bit later, and hopefully I'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, man.
Joel, thank you.
Thank you very much.